Hello. Hey, everybody. So I didn't do the end of the last video right, so I had to just chop off the end, and we're just going to do a brand new video for completing Lesson 13. That's XIII Worksheet 2, I think. I think so. Page 259 anyway for you. You should have already finished my last video and then gone to go get your worksheet, pulled out page 259, and you should have right now a pencil and page 259. Okay? Okay. So here we go. So what you should be looking at right now is the worksheet that you have, except I changed the first directions. This says watch my video, but I think you guys know that hopefully by now. So let's just jump right into it. What we are trying to do right now is taking each of the verbs given. I've given you the lexical form of these verbs. And what we're going to do is follow our steps to conjugate a verb and, well, conjugate a verb in the imperfect tense and conjugate these verbs. But also, it says here, use pronouns and translate 3 possible ways. Well, I want to use pronouns the first couple times because I always think pronouns are good to review, but really we don't have to keep using them. I think by now you know them, but I do want to review them. And then about this 3 possible ways, well, the 3 that I'm emphasizing, the imperfect tense can actually also be translated at least one other way. We said used to, but I'm not really asking you guys to use that used to right now. We're going to stick with was or were blanking, kept blanking, or began blanking. Now, what you should see at the top of your worksheet is audio, audire, but all of this is filled out. Okay, that's fine. But what I went ahead and did and erased it, I did is erased it. And I just want to go through this verb with you and the way that I did it, and I want to walk you through it. So you don't need to look at your worksheet for this first one. You don't need to fill anything out. What I want you to do is just pay really close attention to what I'm doing so that we can fill the rest out together. Okay, so we have our verb. We have an ire verb. Now this is a 4th conjugation verb, but the important part that I want everybody to notice is this io right here. Now, if you were paying close attention to the imperfect tense lesson, you should know that io verbs, we want to remember something about them. They behave a little bit differently, and that is that normally when we go to this second form, we would cut off that RE, right, to get our stem. But this looks like, if we just look at this second form, audi, which is our stem of the verb to hear, if we just look at that, it looks like our verb should be audibom, audibos, audibot, but that is not the case with ire verbs. Anytime we have an io in this first form, we want to make this ieba. Okay, so the syllable before the B lengthens, that is this I syllable lengthens, and the only way we can really lengthen a long I any further is to make it 2 letters, and an audibom becomes audiebom. So eo verbs become ieba in the imperfect tense. All right, let's go ahead and start in the first box. Okay, using pronouns, everybody should know that our first person singular pronoun I is ego, like we're egotistical, but we're not, right? Okay, now we have our pronoun. Now what I'm going to do is we take our stem, right? Audi, but remember this lengthened, so it becomes ea, and we have bomb. Now for translating this, we're going to say, I could say I was hearing, right? I could say I kept hearing, and I can also say I began hearing, or you could say listening to. That's fine as well, but hearing is shorter, so that's what I'm going to do. So audiebom is I was hearing, I kept hearing, I began hearing. So does everybody understand hopefully how we're writing this out? Just so that we don't have to keep writing hearing, I'm just putting was / kept / began. All right? All right, so let's go to the next one. So the you pronoun is to, okay, and we're going to put audi, and boss. Now, let's go ahead and translate. You were hearing, you kept hearing, you began hearing. Now, check it out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. Look, that A doesn't have a macron, but this A does. Well, that's because this A actually always has a macron. Remember, B is a letter. Okay, so B gives away macrons to both sides. But when we put that M on there, remember M is a macron prido, or a macron prido singular, but it's one of the macron pridones, the macron thieves. So M stole the macron from the A. Okay, now here we have Ile, Ila, Ilud. Now this is actually the he, she, it paradigm. Okay, meaning kind of the system. Okay, this is he, she, it. I taught you a while back that id means it. Well, it does too. There's several ways to say it in Latin. For now, let's go ahead and write ile, la, lud, or as I like to write it, ile, ud. And then we don't have to keep writing the extra letters. So this is going to be audie bot. Remember, you should be writing this as I am. He, she, it was hearing, kept hearing, began hearing. Okay, everybody is writing along with me, right? Okay, nos is our pronoun for we. Audieamos. We, what was I saying? Oh yeah, were hearing, kept hearing, and began hearing. Okay, y'all is wos or vos. Okay, but wos is, remember, the classical pronunciation for it. And we have audie batis. That's y'all were hearing. Oh, I guess you can't be writing along. Sorry, guys, I forgot I have these in there. All right, well, at least you're following along, right? You've just missed hearing me talk. You know it. I miss you guys. I really do. I wish I could be in class with you right now. And last, yay, bunt. They were hearing, they kept hearing, they began hearing. Okay, now that I am finished writing that out and kind of walking you through how we got there, now you can go ahead and do the next one with me. Okay, so the first thing we should look at is this an IO verb? Well, the answer, no. Obviously, it is not an IO verb because it doesn't have IO. It's only an IO verb if it has IO. This doesn't have IO, so it's not an IO. AO, so we have ago, agere. So this is a third conjugation verb. So we're just going to go to the second form, chop off that RE. Okay, so my stem is age. Now, first things first, go ahead and put your pronoun. Okay, now don't go doing EA business. Okay, this is not audio audire. Okay, I know we just looked a lot at that. We don't have agie anything. Okay, it's just age. And then we add our BA and our M, or just bomb. Now, remember, B is a really giving fella. Okay, so he gave a macron to the E that came right before it. So I was what? I was doing. I kept doing. I began doing. Or you could do it like we just did above and just write doing once at the end. And that's what we'll do the next time. But you can write it either way. All right, U is 2. Age, boss. We have our stem age, we have our ba infix, our sheep infix, and then we have our S as normally means you singular. So you were doing, you kept doing, you began doing. And again, like I said, it really is a fourth way that you could do it and say used to as well. All right, ilay / ud, or lay la lud. That means he, she, it. So we have agebat, add our T for our he, she, it ending, and have he / she / it was doing, kept doing, began doing. I wonder if I can type as fast as you can write. Hopefully I'm not going too fast or too slow. So our we pronoun is nos. We nos a moose. So we have age, we have our BA infix, and we have our moose ending. So we were doing, we kept doing, we began doing. You plural, wos. Wos or vos, agebatis. Y'all were doing, kept doing, began doing. Remember, we use y'all just because it's in English, it's easier to differentiate between you singular and y'all plural. And then illy for they, age, add your BA, but the NT takes the macron, so we have no macron. So they were doing, kept doing, and began doing. Awesome. All right, and yes, you could have replaced doing here with acting or driving, and yeah, it does actually mean in the way of like driving a chariot, the way you would drive a car, but it can also mean to like drive an army back from the shores or something like that. So this word can have a whole lot of meanings that we have to provide several English meanings for, but what's cool is Latin just means all of those things at once, which is awesome. And, you know, just like agebant means all of these things all at once, which is crazy. It's so much more efficient, right? All right, let's look at finio. Okay, we have something really important to notice here. We have an IO verb. So remember, anytime we have an IO, we're going to have the EA by infix, okay? So we have our stem fin, and you know what? Since we just did the pronouns once, we don't need to do them again. So let's just conjugate the verb now, okay? So we have fin, and then we have our EA infix with our BA. Oops. So finie ba, and then we have an M, but remember that M steals that macron, so it's just finie bam with no macron. I was what? I was finishing. I kept finishing. I began finishing. Okay, and next we have fin, we have ieba, and then we have S. Does S steal the macron? No, he does not. So you were finishing, you kept finishing, and you began finishing. All right, and then next one, finiebat. Okay, bombos bot. So this is he, she, it was finishing, kept finishing, began finishing. Up at the top, we're not doing pronouns. Okay, so it's finieba, and then add your moose. We were finishing, kept finishing, began finishing, and yes, please keep writing these down. I know it seems repetitive, but that's kind of the point. The more you practice this, the more it becomes sort of automatic in your brain, and learning the imperfect in Latin, the imperfect in French and Spanish and Italian and all of those also is exactly the same as the imperfect in Latin. In fact, Spanish even uses BA for the imperfect, but it means the same. So really repeating these definitions and writing these definitions down really should solidify it in your noggin, and that's really our goal. So here we have finiebatis. Y'all were finishing, kept finishing, began finishing, and then finiebant. They were finishing, kept finishing, began finishing. Okay. Hopefully you have all of yours written out. If you don't and you need to finish writing, just go ahead and pause me for a second. You can always come back. But let's move on to the last one. So we take a look at it. Is this an IO verb? It sure is not. So we don't have to worry about any EA ba anything. So we're going to go to sedere. We're going to cut off that RE, and my stem is sede. Okay, so we're gonna now just start conjugating. Sedebam. I was sitting, kept sitting, began sitting. Yes, we're gonna keep writing it like that. Repetition is the goal here. Quality is the goal there. There we go. Sedebas. You were finishing, or I'm sorry, finishing, sitting, kept sitting, began sitting. He, she, it was sitting, kept sitting, began sitting. We're almost done, guys. 3 more. So we have sedebam, sedebas, sedebat. Now we want sedebamus. Kept, began sitting. Sedebatis. Sitting, kept sitting, began sitting, and the last one, yippee, and then we're done. Sedebant. They were sitting, kept sitting, began sitting. Okay, so let's say it all again. Bam, bas, bat, bamus, batis, bant. Okay, we are done with the worksheet, and if you have finished it along with me, you are done with your Latin work for the day. Have a great day, everybody. Volete omnes.